I'm the Hooded Lid and welcome to my channel. Today is day 3 of taking a look at some eyeshadow palettes that you might want to get at the Sephora sale. So today we're looking at the ROEN 1111. This is my first ROEN product ever and it checks all the boxes for green at Sephora. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. It comes in a lovely pouch. Unfortunately, it's white. I love white. I know this ain't gonna work. When I got these 3 palettes the other day, this is the one I dug into and I had to throw that footage away because I wasn't prepared for what this is. They call this Rosy and it's tricky. On the Sephora site, it looks very different than it does on the ROEN site. But there were swatches on the ROEN site that made me think, okay, there's some rosiness going in here because I'm kind of over the warm stuff. I have plenty in the warm stuff. Let me pull you in a little bit. All right, so this is what we have. To me, this is rosy, this is copper, this is taupe, and this is, I guess, kind of rosy. I feel that there are 3 formulas in here. I think this rosy one and the taupey one are the same. This one feels more creamy and this one is more shimmery. So let's do some swatches. Apparently you're supposed to dig your finger into these and they don't apply well with a brush. So this is the more shimmery shade. And it appears almost kind of champagne, like there's no base color underneath here, it's just shimmer. Here's the taupe on the finger and on the arm. Now this taupe does not, some taupes have like a lavender base to them. I don't feel that this does. There is definitely shimmer in here, but not as much of a statement as the first one. Now for the rosy tone on the finger. And there you go. And finally the copper one that feels more creamy, feels like a different formula. I mean, there's nothing rosy about that color. So, you know, this might be rosy. It's not that they're not pretty, it's just I'm a little confused. So I felt that these are the kind of things where it's a one and done. Trying to put a look together with 4 of these colors is just going to make a mishmash, I think. Now I also was thinking you're probably going to have to go into another palette and get a matte to recede your hood and give you some depth. But I find if you apply starting at the lash line and then move up, you'll get a bit of a fade and it's enough to make it look like you are using 2 colors and that there is some depth, some receding of the hood, which is, you know, what I need to do. I do feel, however, if you wanted to do 2 colors, you would go with the creamy one first, the one that's more copper, and then lay one of any of these 3 actually on top of it. So first I'm going to show you the taupe, just on this eye, just fading it up. So I'm starting at the lash line, and just feeling the eyeball, and now feeling under the orbital bone. Boom. It's really, I think it's really pretty and fast and quick, and it's the kind of thing where you don't want to look like you're doing makeup. There's just a little something, so you might not want to do a liner or even mascara. Just kind of leave it like that. Now, I'm going to show you on this eye the rose by itself. So I kind of burnish it by the lash line and then start patting. Eyes closed, eyes open. I think this is, for my skin tone, the more natural of everything going on here. Hi, baby. I would normally clean this eye off and then go in with the copper, but these don't clean off very well. The last time I tried that, I ended up with glitter not only all over my eye, but all over down here, and I'm not sure how that happened. So I'm going to do the copper. And I do think the copper and the rosy tone will look nice together. Just kind of warms it up a little bit and gives it a look like, yeah, I could totally do this in summer. So that's with the copper over it. And eyes closed. Now I'm going to do the champagne color on top of the taupe. And as you can see, it makes it a little more shimmery, eyes closed, because this color doesn't have much of a base to it. So if you just want a naked eye with a little bit of shine, that might be the way to go. I'm going to take some micellar water and clean this off. There's definitely shadow here, but the eye still has some glitter on it. And even now, there's still glitter going on. So let's see how that champagne color looks by itself. I don't know if you'll be able to see in the camera, but there's truly nothing going on pigment-wise there. Let's try the copper. I mean, maybe you could call this rose gold. I think it's kind of copper. I think that's a pretty natural look as well. And now let's do the taupe on top of it, just so you can get an idea of how these layer and how it looks on my skin tone. I guess we'll do the outer third. But this to me has a lot more shine to it. And whatever's left, the orbital bone to kind of give me a little bit of shape. There you have it. Eyes closed. And yeah, here's what I think. I think this will be really fun in summer, and that, as I said, you could use each of these on their own, and you have a couple of different colorways. You know, this by itself is just a shimmer. This is a healthy, I've been in the sun kind of a look. This is good for a lot of skin tones, especially like mine, where I'm more neutral. So if you're neutral to rosy, this is a good one. And this maybe for evening, because it's a little bit, gives a little bit more depth. I do think it's fun, and maybe that's the point. You're just, once in a while you buy something, not because it's a daily look, not because it gives you certain colors that are flattering or that you like, but just because it's fun. And it's not so fun that you look like you've gone too far. It's not glitter necessarily, but it's a very pretty look. And let's say it's glitter for adults. That's what it is. Now I have one other thing to show. I also bought, for your consideration, the box is behind me, but I bought the Ilia blush in Dreamer. And I got this because I'm interested in Ilia, and I'm also interested in colors that are outside my wheelhouse. I tend towards pinks, and this is kind of a beige. I'm not gonna lie, I've tried this a couple of times and I don't see it on my skin. I don't know if it's because of the color or because of the lack of pigmentation, but let me just show you on the hand. I mean, it shows up in my hand. So that's Dreamer, and there's some warmth to this color. In fact, the thing that I did the other day with the Tower 28, where it was like the sun-kissed look, but with orange, I think you could do that with this, and it wouldn't look, where that one was obviously orange, but it worked. This might actually give you that look exactly. So I'm going to get my duo fiber. I tried this picking up like this with a duo fiber, and I just found it wasn't enough, so I'm going to go straight in. This, I don't know if it's just mine, but it feels a little loose, so I do not have too much of this out. I mean, it's there, but maybe this isn't a great color for me. It's just very, very natural. Now the other cream stick that I have is the Nude Sticks in Sunset Strip, I think it is. And this Ilia feels a little more emollient to me than that one. And there's definitely a sheen on my skin from it. I see it. It's not that it's not there. It's just, well, I mean, it's really, really, really a natural look. And keep in mind, I have a lot of pinkness in my face. I have a lot of rosiness in my cheeks. And even though I'm wearing a foundation right now, there are times where I'll just put on a foundation. I don't put on any blush because I have so much color coming through. So if you have skin that is much more even and doesn't have that redness, this color would probably work differently on you and look differently on you. But I feel like it's fighting with my pinkness, and it doesn't really do anything for me. It's not that it's bad, it's just I think the color is not working. I want to compare it to one other thing. This Too Faced product. I love these blushes that nobody else loves because it's the other thing I have that's kind of a neutral, very different color. So that's the Too Faced, and this is the Ilia. If nothing else, let's just try it with the duo fiber and do that sun-kissed look. So I'm going to do a little bit on the forehead, a little bit under the brows, because that fatty area, on me anyway, definitely gets color. And take this up over nose of the bridge. And for sure, the tops of the cheeks, because that's where I get color. Okay, now let's try some on the lips. I guess you could do this as a multi-stick, like one and done. It's not super comfortable as a lip color. There's a weird thickness to it, a graininess to it. I'm just going to do a little bit of lining here. There you go. That's for your review to see on a skin tone like mine, if you have coloring like I do. I'm going to pull you in a little bit closer so you can see the eyes. Eyes closed, open, and I'm just going to move around. Maybe some light will hit and you can see a little bit what's going on. I just wanted to come back in case my focus wasn't working on those earlier shots. So this may or may not be inserted in, but I wanted to just pull back my hair to give you the overall look. Do you know what I'm thinking? I really like this Ilia. I looked in another mirror and it just does have a very natural kind of sun-kissed look, but not tragically so. Yeah, I like this look. And I like the casual nature of these shimmers, I guess. There's little teeny glitters in them, but they just don't come off like glitter. Again, glitter for adults, but I like them better than my scattered lights. Interesting. Maybe because these are more random than the scattered lights. Maybe I should get them and we could do a swatch. I'm back. It had not even occurred to me to compare these two scattered lights. So I'm going to take this one and this one because I think my scattered lights are most like that. In the scattered lights I have smoke and reflect. And I think smoke will be color-wise the closest to what we have here. So this is the ROEN and this is the Hourglass. And while I think the tones are correct, I mean, that is the tone. It's very similar to the ROEN. This has a sheerness to it. And it's almost more metallic. And this is Reflect. And this is the ROEN. I'm going to take that chunkier one from the ROEN. Can't see it very well. Wow, you can't see it at all? Is that possible? Hard to see. Here's the ROEN, and here is Reflect. I would say their tones are very, very similar, but the finish is different on the Hourglass. I wish I could take my camera outside to show you, but I can't. So I am going to go outside and look. I'll be right back. Okay, here's my conclusion comparing these. I would say the finish between the Hourglass and the ROEN in the smoke and in the rosy color is pretty similar. It's not too far off. I think the cream one in here, I'm calling it the cream one, but this one that's kind of coppery or rose gold maybe, is a little smoother, and I think this one is different than all of them. That's just my quick casual observation, not scientific at all. So that's going to wrap it up. I think I probably have already done my outro. I don't know how I'm going to edit this. So I'm either going to bring you right back into what I was doing. I'm looking at the birds who are just they just are having fun. It's so weird that Lucy doesn't care at all. And yeah, so this is either my outro. I hope it was helpful to you. I hope you come back again. Be safe, be smart, and until we meet again, I'm wishing you good health.